Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 4 of Critical Hitz! We're getting so good at it, bro. That makes me so happy.
It only took 4 tries. Dude,
it could have taken more. We're not the brightest bulb in the box, all right? Yeah, hey. I'll tell you this, chat. There's about 3 brain cells between us, okay? Shockingly, he's got 2, okay? So, dude, but hey. Dude, can we still do that? Or are we gonna get canceled for that?
I actually don't know.
I don't know.
Bro.
I remember doing that all the time. I'm not gonna do it right now because I don't need that to be on the internet for forever. But look.
Nope.
Hey, we do say this. We do say who was on the topic of conversation today?
Oh, brother. It's our favorite. It's our favorite topic. It's Leonhart.
I think that's a great way to start it. I think is a great way to describe everything that Leonhart is and has represented over the last 2 months.
Yeah, what's he doing? Tell the people what he's doing.
I don't even know what he's doing, bro. So, and a lot of people saw this, right? There was, and I've got to get her YouTube name. I want to say it's like Kira or something like that, right? But basically, she covered, Leonhart's trade-up challenge. And I think you might have seen something about this, where he went to a show and I don't know what he started with and what he ended with. I don't know. I don't know the details.
I'm sorry. Did you just say that Leonhart is doing a trade-up challenge?
Yes, the guy with 2 million followers doing a trade-up challenge.
The guy, probably one of the most financially well-off Pokemon creators, is doing is it for charity?
Hell no, it wasn't for charity. You think that Leonhart is going to do this for charity, man? I mean, come on. No, and not to sit here and shit talk the guy too bad. But I mean, you got a good point. Say that again. Say that again. I want to hear that one more time for the people.
That Leonhart, one of the most financially well-off content creators, allegedly, we don't know his finances, but he's one of the biggest, is doing a trade-up challenge.
Yeah, no, that's 100% correct, dude. He did a trade-up challenge in which this Kira girl, and I'm so sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. She, covered it on her YouTube channel. It blew up. It's got 180 million or 180,000 views, and it was literally just hey, Leonhart started with this card. It seems like he had a camera crew with him, and everybody that he interacted with felt pressured, right? And then they did, he made some promises to some of the people, and then didn't follow through with them, right? So now he's in a little bit of hot water because this YouTuber had on one of the girls that he interacted with at the card show, and she basically said, hey, look, I wasn't going to make a big deal out of this, a month or 2 ago when this was covered because, I didn't think it was a big deal. Well, I thought on it, and I wanted to, do a joint video with this young YouTuber and cover that, I do feel wronged by Leonhart because he said that he was going to send her something, right? And then
there should be financial compensation, yes.
Yes, and then it got lost in the mail. He said that to her. She tells this on the podcast, on the YouTube video, that Leonhart said, hey, it got lost in the mail. I shipped it via USPS or whatever bullshit he was feeding her, which it could be bullshit, it could not be, right? I've had stuff get lost in the mail. But, I mean, come on, dude. You've got to be joking. You're telling me that you, as a confident individual, correct me if I'm wrong, he was a very successful lawyer prior to transitioning to the Pokemon world, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I don't know how a man like that makes those mistakes. And granted, I mean, if I was a young collector at a convention that, whether or not it was my first time, right? If I see a pretty famous individual walk up to me with a camera crew, and the camera crew doesn't have to be 5 or 6 people to make me a little nervous, when I put myself in their shoes, it could just be 2 people. It could be one that is, carrying a camera, and it could be another one that's doing, some lookouts / some organizing of, the people in the frame, right?
Well, let's be clear too. It's, when a large creator comes up and does this with anybody at an event, that's normally a very good thing, right? Because it's good publicity for that individual. And maybe that's what he's thinking a little bit. However, the crux of the issue here is trade-up challenges. In general,
agree. I 100% agree.
Trade-up challenges are you asking somebody else to take a financial loss. That is the definition of a trade-up challenge. I have this thing. It is worth less than what you should give me. I don't know who invented trade-up challenges. They're stupid.
I 100%
They
agree.
they are dumb. I don't care if you are Leonhart and you have 2 million followers, or if you're a 7-year-old.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'll say it. I do not care. I hear all these stories about all these kids coming up to do trade-up challenges. Doing trades is different.
Agreed.
And if the vendor chooses to do a trade for a loss, that's fine. But the essence of a child or an adult coming up and saying, this is my trade-up challenge. Stop doing trade-up challenges. Stop. I have never done one. I will never do one. And I will never be a part of one. Hear me now. It doesn't matter. It could cancel me. I don't care. If a 6-year-old comes up to me and says, I'm doing a trade-up challenge, what can you give me? That's not the precedence of the Pokemon community.
Yep.
The whole point of trading is to meet people and interact, not to finish some challenge. That's not what trading is. So no, I'm never doing it. No.
No, I do. I 100% agree with you. I think trades, and I told you this, I love trades. I don't want to do anything more than trades because it's just a good time, right? The stories that you get to walk away with at the end of a trade, outstanding, bro. I love them to death. But this trade-up challenge, like you said, has got to be one of the dumbest things, especially when we talked about this last episode of the vendors needing to, make a living, right? They're not.
Who even came up with it?
I have to say that, and this is no stabbing at him.
There's probably some vendor or creator.
No, bro. It was RoboSkills did have a video, a short form video that blew up of like, hey, I've got this for trade. I don't remember if it was serious or not, right? But it did blow up, and it was one of those things. It got millions of views, millions of minutes watched worth of attention. And this is no shade to him, but it was just crazy to think that after, because I remember seeing it. I remember him making a video of how it blew up, and then I remember.
I thought it was satire too, to be honest. And who knows? Again, I generally like RoboSkills. I've actually never met the guy, but I want to make a caveat here to our viewers. If somebody comes up to me, even a child, I'm not going to be rude to them, of course, and I'm willing to do trades, but I'm not going to do a trade-up challenge. But I just want people to know, I'm not going to be rude if a child comes up to me. I still want them to love the hobby. I want to trade with them. Maybe I'll even give them a free cheap pack, right? Because I would rather give them something than do a trade-up challenge. Sorry.
Yeah, and we've had that a couple of times even as vendors. We have a little box that's like, hey, take a free card. And it's nothing crazy, right? They're super cheap trainer gallery cards, or they're just standard EXs, but feel free to have one. I'm not going to lose my mind, and some of them have been, vintage, common, and uncommons, for kids to complete older sets, right? Like Gym Challenge, Gym Heroes, or whatever. But that is just the idea that content creators, big ones, right, want to consider doing that. I don't know if your fan base truly wants to see that, because granted, I don't, because I know how I would feel behind the curtains.
Leonhart can't do this, to be clear. He should have never done this. No content creator ever should, and specifically on camera with camera crews, because that is financially pushing somebody to make a negative deal.
Wish content creators did, and this is what I would love to do. I want to do a video about trade night, right? But I want it to be not it can be at a store, but I don't want you to be doing the trade with the store. I want you to do the trade with the people, and everybody just bring your trade binders. Let's just see what people have.
Dude, I've seen some crazy stuff, though, of people coming to trade nights and trying to do percentages.
Are you serious?
I trade at 80%. Yeah. I've seen this. This came up on my TikTok For You page. I can't remember the name of the creator, but they were talking about this, how they went to a trade night, and somebody was like, I only trade at 80%. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. It's completely free, so they're not covering any costs to be there.
Yeah.
Right? That is market. When you go to a trade night, everybody, it is market. Everybody is trading market.
Yeah.
That's it.
You just have to agree on what market you're using. There are some people here, in the UK, when we go to a trade night, they don't really use TCG Player. They use eBay recent solds, right? So they take the average of the last 5 eBay recent solds. And so if all the sales are between $30 and $40 or 30 and 40 pounds, they're going to say, okay, market's 35, right?
Yeah.
And it just makes it easy. And it's like, okay, so let's do it for this card, And I think at any one point, somebody's only like, hey, man, if we're off by more than, 5 pounds, we need to, throw something else in, right? Which I get. But it's just, it's irritating to me to think that, we're still having problems with content creators that want to do these damn trade-up challenges. Nobody cares.
No. And honestly, Leonhart, he should have done the trade down challenge. Like somebody like him that has base set Charizards and Crystal Lugias, like go do a trade down challenge. People would love to see that because that's funny. That's you giving back to the community that supports you and makes you hundreds of thousands and tens of thousands of dollars a month.
Yep.
We're all in accord here. Chat, let us know down in the comments how you feel about the whole situation. But I've said my piece. You could do all of the other things that the community offers.
There you go. I like it. Hey, we talked about what community's offering, and we were talking about the trade-up challenge, right? But I want to talk about something else that involves, potentially meeting up, and that is Legends ZA, bro. I want to know dude, I'm loving this.
This is another hot topic in the community because so Scout's bringing this up because against popular opinion, I hate spoilers and leaks. I hate it. I hate them. Oh God, I hate them. Because I want to play a game blind. I played Scarlet and Violet mostly blind. I say mostly because it's almost impossible to be a content creator and avoid leaks. Because you have to be on social media to post and stuff.
Yep.
People have gotten better about saying like, hey, spoiler alert. But anyway, when I played Scarlet and Violet blind, it was one of the most enjoyable experiences of my life. Like some of the other past generations, I didn't play it blind. I want to play Legends ZA blind so bad. And when I found out, spoiler alert, there's a spoiler coming here about megas, but specifically about one mega. One of my top 5 favorite Pokemon is getting it, and it broke the internet. And you know who I'm talking about. He's a big, gentle, kind dragon.
You
got a mega.
Said spoiler alert, so just say Mega Dragonite.
Mega Dragonite. Can you imagine how far my jaw would have dropped on the floor if I went into a trainer battle? And they pop out a mega, like I'm fighting Lance's nephew, and he throws out a Mega Dragonite. Oh my God, I would lose my mind. Dude, I hate spoilers.
I miss seeing that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I miss playing games without spoilers, right? Because the only spoiler
I'm doing it again.
Well, no, but the only spoiler we had to worry about back in the day was whether or not our brothers played faster than us, and they were like, "Hey, did you battle this gym yet? Did you battle this gym leader? Oh, you haven't battled the gym leader?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you want to know, right? Sometimes my brothers would ask, sometimes they wouldn't, right? But then we also had neighbors too. Neighbors would call our house phone and be like, "Hey, have you guys played yet? Or do you guys want to come over and play? I just beat, this next gym or whatever," right? Which I miss those moments, but I don't think we're ever going to get that back. I think everything is always going to be spoiled, no matter what precautions we take to make sure it doesn't happen.
I did a decent job with Scarlet and Violet, but people keep saying how easy Pokemon games are. Play it blind. You play it blind, and you look me in the eye and you tell me it's easy. Because when you roll up on a Miltank that knows rollout and you're not ready, you're getting dropped, son. It's happening. When you're going into Sword and Shield and you're going into the wild area for the first time and you see an Onix and you're like, "This is sick. I'm going to take on that Onix." And you're level 5 and it's level 50, I got wiped. Straight up wiped. It was awesome. It was incredible.
I love that. I love that for you, buddy. I hope you hold on to that, man.
If you guys start sending me spoilers, I'll kill you.
Straight up. I'm telling you, this is a spoiler-free zone, bro. If they start loading the comments with spoilers, I'm gonna cry. But you did mention Mega Dragonite, so I want to ask, what would your top 5 Pokemon be that you would give Mega Evolutions to for Legends ZA?
Dragonite, Arcanine. Obviously, the 3 starters are going to get them, so I'm not going to name them, but I think that those are sick. Feraligatr would be in there. I think Meganium needed love. I could not care less about Emboar. I've already talked about my hatred for the stupid Fire Pig. Okay, so hear me out. If they do something with Zygarde, if they give Zygarde a Mega, if it gets a 4th form, I'm in.
Really?
I'm fully in. If this thing goes Optimus Prime times 10 and has jets coming out of its back, and it's more powerful than Arceus itself, I'd be thrilled. Bring it on. Go Power Rangers Zygarde.
Oh, dude. Okay, yeah. I agree. I think that'd be legit.
That was 4, but I think Zygarde counts as 2.
You think Zygarde counts as 2? Okay.
I mean, Arcanine obviously would be huge for me. I think that it's a legendary Pokemon. It's the legendary Pokemon. Arcanine's up there with Dragonite, but I think all of the pseudos will get it. So I don't know if Goodra is going to be in the game, but obviously there's already Metagross and Mega Garchomp, and the ones that are missing are Mega Goodra,
yep,
and Mega Dragonite was one. Are we missing any others?
Outside of Mega Baxcalibur, I can't think of anything else at this very moment.
Which is, I think it's too soon for Mega Bax.
I would think so too. Other than that,
but yeah, you have Mega Salamence. Ooh, they could do Mega Dragon.
They could. I would say
that would be so sick,
bro. That would actually blow my mind. How would you defeat that?
I don't know. It would be so fast. It would be so fast.
I mean, that you just couldn't compete. That thing could attack twice in the VGC. Yeah. Like before I even start the game, you can't compete with.
It's just like instead of dragon darts, it's like dragon Gatling gun. Yeah. What are your 5? What would be your top 5 Mega Evolutions that you would get in Legends EA?
I think you're gonna find my answers weird because number 1, Arcanine. The fact that Houndoom did get a Mega before Arcanine is kind of crazy, but that's totally fine in my book. But I think Arcanine needs one. Flygon.
Skarmory. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yep. Flygon, Skarmory, Victory Bell. Hang in there with me. I think Victory Bell needs one. And then last but not least, you've got to give a Mega Form to one of the birds. Articuno, Zapdos, or Moltres. I think you can give a Mega Form to Mega Zapdos.
What?
Yep.
No.
I want it. I just think it looked cool.
Wait, what about Lapras?
Oh, dude, Mega Lapras needs to happen. I think that's an easy dub.
Because you got Mega Caesar, you got Mega Pinsir. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. Are they going to do a bunch of Kanto Pokemon
but that's where it would be so interesting. Could you imagine a Mega Talonflame?
That's what I was about to say. Should we be focusing on Kalos Pokemon?
So that's not Kalos, though. That's Sinnoh.
Oh.
Right? But
this is gonna be Kalos, correct?
I want to say it's gonna be Kalos. You'd have to double check. But dude, yes, granted, I know my answers were a little bit wonky there, but I really do want to see like some fan favorite Pokemon just throughout like the first 5 or 6 generations. If we could see some of those guys get some better forms, dude, it can make them so much more relevant. So much more relevant, 1 in popularity, and then 2 in playability.
Okay, it is so it is the Kalos Pokédex so Legends EA is based off of X and Y. Y is Kalos. Okay. That's why you're going to Lumio City.
Yep.
But it's a little bit sad because, and you know what? I'll say it. You know who? I mean, again, I'm not. We could get Mega Greninja.
Bro, if we get Mega Greninja, I mean that's.
They didn't make him a starter.
Yeah, but that is an easy one. That is an easy pickup.
Yeah, a lot of these have Megas already too. Like there's Mega Lucario. I'm looking at this chat, so don't be mad at me. But Mega Lucario, Mega Sharpedo.
Read off some of the ones that don't have Mega forms though.
There's a lot in here. Like there's some really broken ones. Like Mega Rhyperior would be nuts. I don't think they'll do that.
God, dude.
I don't think they'll do that. I think it would be too strong.
Yeah.
But like, you could do any of the fossils. Mega Tyrantrum, I think they could do, which would be really cool. Mega Aurorus. Any of the Evolutions would break the internet.
Bro, I don't think if you did the Evolutions Megas though. Could you? I mean, but that would make game and content for the next 15 years, right? Because they still haven't given us a ground type, a fighting type, all kinds of even a normal Evolution they haven't given us yet.
No, I'm looking up new Pokemon in Kalos because it's a huge dex. And you know what's funny though?
What?
They could just like do all Gen 2 Pokemon.
Oh, 100%.
Because they did 150. They did the first 151 a lot, right? Mm-hmm. For like out of nowhere, like everybody got it in the first gen, and nobody in Gen 2 has one until both Chikorita and Feraligatr are both Gen 2.
Well, Mega Caesar, right? And Caesar came in Gen 2.
Yeah,
so
that's fair. That's fair.
Think about Mega Fortress. Think about Mega Snorlax, right? Because they didn't introduce the babies in Gen 2, right? So if we could go there, right? Dude, that would be legit. And could you imagine Dunsparce? Dunsparce was Gen 2, yeah?
Yep.
Mega Dunsparce might be interesting. A Mega Shuckle.
You could. I think there's a really good chance you get Mega Aegislash too.
Ooh, that's a great pickup.
I also think I think it is without a doubt. I give it a 95% chance we get Mega Goodra. I really feel like Goodra's like one of the few pseudos left out, and it was Kalos' pseudo.
No, I 100% agree. I think if they don't pick up Goodra as a Mega, they're out of their minds. But they have to, they have to give us some Flygon action. There are just some, and I don't think Trapinch is even in the decks for Kalos.
No, but I mean, he's Talonflame is though.
See, there you go. Mega Talonflame.
Talonflame is, I actually think Mega Tyrantrum. And again, I do think that Mega Zygarde is going to happen. I do. I think that the box art legendary is going to get whatever mechanic, just like if you look at Terapagos.
Yep.
How it had special mechanics with Terra types. There's no way Zygarde doesn't have some kind of interaction with Mega forming.
Dude, how overpowered is Zygarde going to be as a Mega?
My dog thinks that he has thoughts. I think that after Legends ZA, we could be looking at the most powerful Pokemon ever when we look at.
Really?
Yes. I think if you think about like the stats of like Mega Mewtwo Y and Mega Mewtwo X,
yeah,
and you think about Mega Rayquaza, I think that you bring this thing on par with like, because they have a higher stat product. To be clear, they are stronger than Arceus from a stats perspective.
Yes.
Arceus is obviously still stronger because it can be any type.
Yep.
That's what made Arceus busted. So, I think that you're looking at quite possibly the highest stat product outside of like Dynamax or Gigantamax Eternatus, which is like an insane Pokemon in its own self.
Well, yeah, that was like 1,000 points in each category. I mean, that's
right. I don't really count that.
Yeah,
because it can only be used in max battles.
Yeah. Okay, that's a fair point, man. And I think Zygarde has, as far as like legendary Pokemon go and Fox Art Pokemon go, I thought Zygarde was always up there for as far as most interesting.
Oh, it's one of the few with multiple forms. It's a humanoid-looking dragon. Like it's the only one that like most legendaries don't have a humanoid feature besides, I guess, Mewtwo is semi-humanoid. Yeah, I think this thing's going to be absolutely busted. And I'm so here for it.
It's going to be so cool, dude. The closer we get to Legends EA, how do you think this is going to affect like the Pokemon community as a whole, like as far as getting more people back into the game? Do you think that the Nintendo Switch 2 and Legends EA coming together is going to pull more people back into just the Pokemon video games? It doesn't mean they have to collect, Pokemon cards, even though Black and White.
Oh, but they will.
Out. Yeah, but I mean,
they will.
Do you think that Legends EA is going to pull in, like we were talking about, in the first episode, how they sold 31 million copies of Red and Blue when it first came out, right? How many copies of Legends EA do you think are going to sell? I want to say something upwards of, I'll say 21 million.
I mean, they're releasing around the holidays, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Pokemon's at a peak. I think it could be 40 mil.
You think 40 mil? You think 40 million copies is a reasonable sale? That would make this the most sold Pokemon game of all time.
Yep.
Okay, you know what? Hey, chat, lock this in. You're going to say 40 mil. I'm going to change my answer.
I'll say 35. I'll say 35.
Okay, chat, lock this in. He's going to say 35 million. I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to go to 27 million. I'm going to say that this game sells 27 million copies. You say 35, and you know what we'll do is we'll do a giveaway for the people, okay? Whoever is closer.
Sure. Yeah,
good?
I'm in. Now, here's what I'll say. Just to establish the rules. I'm saying all copies. So Switch 1 and Switch 2.
Okay, all right. That, you know what? Fair. Then I will keep my answer at 27 million. Yep, all copies.
But I genuinely, and you know how I feel about Legends Arceus. I thought the Legend Arceus was one of the best Pokemon games ever made.
Yep.
Straight up. Like, its mechanics, the way it played, its graphics, I thought it was fantastic. Until Scarlet and Violet came out.
Yep.
And I thought the open world mechanics of Scarlet and Violet would take it above the top, and I thought, yeah, the graphics were rough, but I saw the potential.
Yep.
And now, I was just playing last night on my Switch 2, and I was playing with Go Collect, and I sent him a screenshot of what Snorlax looks like, and you could see Snorlax's fur in Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 2.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, I'm not kidding.
Oh,
and like when you're flying around in the crater, you could see the waterfall actually come down. Like I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna do this is my next post when I get some free time. I'm gonna do a side by side of all, but it is nuts.
Bro, that's insane. I don't. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I should have gotten the Switch 2. Dude. I'm starting to really regret it. I'm starting to really regret not ordering.
Oh, the other thing I'll say too. The other thing I'll say too is, you know how you actually no, I'll save this. I'm gonna save it for a post. What
were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, you ever like take a screenshot or a video on your Switch and you have to scan the QR code to send it to your personal device, like your cell phone?
I didn't know you could do that.
Have you ever done that?
No, hell no.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you could do that. Well, now that used to be super annoying, right? Because if you're on your TV, you had to like scan your TV and all kinds of crap. No. Now it just sends it directly to the Nintendo Switch app, and if you have the app on your phone, you just pull it off of there, so you don't have no interaction between the two devices.
Bro,
you're just good.
Cool. Oh my god,
it's incredible.
All right, so yeah,
it's incredible.
I might be undershooting sales here for Legends ZA.
We'll see. I think it's going to be fantastic. I genuinely think it's going to be fantastic. I think it's the right time of year. I think it's going to be a great game. I think if they do it right, to be clear, I'm a little skeptical of them keeping it all in one city. But
that's what I'm saying. That's why I think they're going to incorporate it. Okay, so let's get into speculation. I want to get into speculation for Legends ZA, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way that they can do this where they just stay in the Kalos region / Lumoy City. I'm telling you, I think there's going to be, whether you want to call them DLCs or whatever, for going into other regions, they have to, bro. The fact that people believe that Mega Evolutions haven't already been designed for another 400 Pokemon, they're out of their minds. I'm telling you, they're going to incorporate so many more Mega Evolutions, and at least I'm hoping. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm being too optimistic. Am I being too optimistic, guys? Because that's a possibility.
I think you're being too optimistic, to be honest. I mean, think about Legends Arceus, right? Like, it was a pretty small-ish region, right, that you would go through, and they made the areas within the region huge, though. And the reason I think that they could keep it within the city is because of the elevators that they've shown.
Yep.
So, there's levels to it, so you could go down too, probably. And so I think that's how they're going to broaden the map of this game, is by playing with elevation.
That's fair. Okay. I see what you're saying. Dude, I didn't want to be too optimistic, bro. I thought we were just, I don't know. Man,
no, to be clear, I think that the DLC will take you somewhere else.
Yeah.
It always has. Sword and Shield, it did it. Scarlet and Violet, it did it. That will take you somewhere else.
Well, we already know where it's going to take you. It's going to take you to Johto.
Is it Johto or Unova? What's tied to Kalos?
Okay. I'm not thinking tied to Kalos. I'm thinking tied to starters, right? If they're tying Chikorita and Totodile, they're taking us to Johto. Now, if they are going to tie it to region, they're going to take us to Unova.
Right, because Unova's the one that had the Floet and the super weapon and all that, right? Am I crazy?
I think so.
Or was that Kalos?
I was confident in that, but now I think no.
Oh my gosh.
Kalos.
Guys, we might need to do Pokemon plot trivia, because Scout and I are slacking.
Dude, let's do it. Guys, I'm all about it.
Pokemon plot trivia. This is tough.
Give me a reason to replay all the games. And what we need to do, we need to start streaming the anime. We need to just buy Amazon Prime and just start streaming Pokemon.
I mean, I have it.
Have you bought every one of them?
No, but I have Amazon Prime.
No, okay, well, I have Amazon Prime too, but you still have to buy them. You still have to buy all the Pokemon.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. It's annoying, yeah. I'm like, what the hell? That's so dumb. I hate that, by the way. Like, why the hell can't we just watch that? I've got Amazon Prime. I'm already paying you. I'm already buying everything from you, Amazon. Just let me have
I think if a movie's been out for longer than 20 years, it should be free.
I think if a movie's been out longer than 10 years, it should be free.
I agree.
You do realize 20 years ago was 2005, right? So basically, you want Cars. You want Cars, Monsters Inc., for free. Well, I want them. They're already free. But 10 years. Give me 10 years, okay?
Yeah, but what you're telling me is that 1999 Pokemon's not free.
What? How am I not telling you
That's what you're saying.
I said 10 years. What are you talking about?
No. What I'm saying is even 20 years ago, when the first episodes came out, we have to pay for them.
Yes. Okay. All right. I see what you're saying.
By the way, chat, what are your guys' biggest speculations about Legends ZA? We can react to these in episode 5, but I want to know, what is everybody's biggest speculation about Legends ZA? And no spoilers, speculations.
Oh, dude, could you imagine if somebody starts dropping in all these screenshots from confirmed leaks? You remember that Reddit post that came out almost a year ago now, and it was
you might have to handle our next all of our comments on the next video.
Dude, I don't want to read these spoilers. You're just gonna throw that on me?
Yeah, because we both know you. You're gonna spoil it. I already know you.
I'm not gonna. To you, I'm not gonna spoil it, bro. But I'm on.
No. But you're gonna spoil it for yourself.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Well, okay, dude. We talk about spoilers. We talk about speculation. Now, speculation for Gen 10, bro. Why do you think they're coming out with Legends ZA and not Gen 10? Am I too optimistic in saying that they're taking their time with Gen 10? 10.
Brother.
Here is the 30th anniversary of Pokemon.
Yep.
So
it is.
What do we think in general? Do we think Gen 10 is going to blow our panties off?
Brother. Gen 10. Okay. Gen 10. The Pokemon Presents in February of 2026 is going to be lit. They are going to announce Gen 10 in that. It is going to be made exclusively for the Switch 2, which has 8 times the processing power of the Switch, which means they can develop only for the Switch 2. They don't have to worry about the constraints of the Switch 1.
Yep.
They're going to release it. This is, again, none of this is confirmed. This is all my speculation. They're going to release it same, like a year later than they're releasing Legends, right? They always do it kind of November, December time. Enjoy it. So you can enjoy it over the holidays.
Yep.
Right? And it's going to break the world.
I agree.
It's going to break the world. I firmly believe, like, Pokemon Go took the world by storm.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are trying to do that level of popularity in Gen 10.
I 100% agree, and I just cannot wait. I know we're in different kind of realms here because you are more VGC, you're more Unite. I am more TCG oriented.
Yeah.
So I am excited to see what they do with the sets. I know as far as Gen 10 is concerned, they're probably going to drop the ball on a couple of the early sets, right? I'm
Probably. They always
do.
do.
I think they're going to. And I think they're going to do it on purpose just a little bit.
Oh, we all know what we're getting, right?
What do you think?
We're getting unlocked Arceus, baby.
Holy crap.
We're getting the
Zygarde.
we're getting origin story. Like we're getting the creation story. We're getting Arceus before he made Palkia, Dialga, Tina, and he had to split his powers. I get goosebumps saying it. He had to split his powers, so he was like this omnipotent being, and we're gonna play that timeline because it's Gen 10. It's the 10th anniversary. They're gonna take us back to the beginning. They've already flirted time travel with Scarlet and Violet. They already flirted it.
What do you mean? They flirted it with Celebi. They flirted it with, Celebi forever. Celebi travels back.
Yeah, but they literally, like in Scarlet and Violet, again, spoiler alert, guys. The professors were time travelers.
Yeah.
So Celebi's different. People can do it now.
Now, what do you think? It's going to be back in time in a sense of, are we playing like Pokemon Ranger? Like we're playing as the Pokemon? Like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon?
No, I think you'll still be a trainer. I don't think they'll ever get rid of the trainer aspect.
I don't think
I think they're gonna take us back to when Arceus first created the world.
Okay. And how do you think that gameplay is gonna go though?
It could be that Arceus is your starter, and you have to help him build it. I have no idea.
Bro, could you imagine? What a great game that would be. Build the world? Can you imagine designing Pokemon? Like, oh, bro, come on, man. I'm there for it. That would be insane, dude.
I don't think that's gonna happen, to be clear, but because I don't even know. I don't know how you would do the Elite Four. And I mean, what if the Elite Four were Pokemon?
That's what
right, and you're having to take on like the old gods. Like everybody always talks about the old gods and all of their different. And they're like like the Titans before the gods, the Greek gods, and
so
all that crap.
My thing. What if Arceus, right? What if they held out on some mythology or lore? And they were like, Arceus, before he created Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, whatever, right? What if he created a friend for him? Just someone else he thought he could rule the world or would keep that balance, that he knew he wasn't the ultimate balance, right? And so it's in you and Arceus versus this evil element that he created.
That would be incredible.
Yeah. Well, and
bring back Shadow Pokemon. Give me a Shadow army to go defeat. Let me fight Shadow Lugia one last time. Oh,
bro, I'm telling you, I still think that's the biggest ball drop that the Pokemon Go has ever had. Shadow Lugia and Pokemon Go, and you don't take Shadow Lugia from Gale of Darkness, arguably, and I stand by this, the top 3. Easily top 3. It's my number 1 best Pokemon game of all time. I
don't know if it's my number 1 best Pokemon, but I can tell you right now that if they came out with a card that was a Shadow Lugia card, it would be valued at similar values to like Illustrator Pikachu. What if have you been in tune with the Chocobos from Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy?
What did
have
you
seen
just
this?
say to me, bro?
Okay.
What was that word?
Chocobo? It's like a bird.
That's not a bird.
Yeah, it's a bird.
100% thought you just said
okay.
Chocobro.
No,
Chocobo. No, I 100% thought you said Chocobro.
Okay.
Who else thought that he said Chocobro? I'm in danger.
No. Okay, hear me out. So, Magic the Gathering, they did serialized golden chocobos. There's 70, I want to say 77 of them? Or 777, I can't remember.
Oh, jeez.
Imagine if they did a serialized Shadow Lugia, where they only printed like 1,000.
1,000? Only print 500, bro. I would pay whatever somebody's asking. I would trade my Heart Gold Soul Silver base set booster box for that.
I don't think that would be enough.
You don't think my $10,000 box would be enough?
No, I think that if you release a serialized card of one of the top Pokemon ever, and there's only 500 of them in existence, people are going to be asking 6 figures day one.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Am I wrong?
No,
well, I mean, seriously, think about this.
I think it would legitimately... you got to think about it like this. Okay, let's say it's 150, or let's say there's 1,510 copies, because we do have the Chinese Mew exclusive promo that just came out, only has 1,510 copies. Raw right now, it sells for $7,500, and a PSA 10 it sells for about $15,000.
Chinese Mew card.
Yeah.
That is, and I don't even think it's a full art, is it?
Yeah, it's a special illustration. Right?
It is? Okay. Okay. Shadow Lugia in English is easily 10x that. Easily.
Easily 10x. You are probably right. That's a disturbing thought to have.
Shadow Lugia? Yeah. Shadow Lugia? Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
There are so many Mew cards. If this is the only Shadow Lugia card, and there's only, what did you say, 500 copies? Yeah, it's, yes. I stand by that.
Yeah, I'm taking it back. If there's 1,510 copies, I'll say it'll probably do, I think you're right, I think it'll probably be 10x.
It's more than 10 grand.
Yeah, that's fair. But dude, okay, think about it like this though. If they just brought Shadow Pokemon back as a general mechanic, like in general,
in Gen 10,
in Gen 10, and into the TCG, bro, come on.
I mean, they got to think of something, right? Because like, so it's got to be something new though, because it's something we don't know. So because they already did Megas.
Yep.
They did Terrestrialization, which changes types.
Yep.
And they did Megas, which changes stats.
Yep.
What else have they done?
They've done Gigantamax.
Gigantamax, which changes size. And you know what they could do? They could do something that, like, allows you to have more than 4 moves.
Whoa. Never would have thought about that. So what would you call that? What's that ace in the whole move? Because that sounds like a max move, bro.
No. I think it's similar. You can use it once per battle, similar to Mega, Dynamax, or Terrestrialization. And it's Arceus unlocking the true potential of a Pokemon. And it allows you to access either 8 moves or your entire move. All of the moves that you can remember.
That's a genius mechanic. I guarantee you somebody at Pokemon's thought of that.
You already have it all there. Every Pokemon already has the moves that you can remember in the code.
Yeah. Right?
So you could do that. Can you imagine Wolf Glick getting a hold of a Pokemon that has its entire move pool set?
I don't know what I would do, bro. How would you navigate the game?
I don't know. To be clear, that's probably why they do like 8 moves or 6 moves or 5 moves instead of the whole move pool. Because like I don't think you could navigate the game if you got everything.
What Pokemon would be the most broken?
Mew, right?
Well, yeah, I guess Mew.
Well, but if it's remembered moves, then no. If it's TMs too, then it's Mew.
Yeah.
But if it's remembered moves, I mean, your most broken Pokemon is something that can offer itself utility and damage, right? Like, like if I'm thinking VGC, it's something that can boost itself up in defense. It can recover. Probably Mewtwo. Yeah. Well, honestly, it's probably Mewtwo. You could literally go like protect, recover, nasty plot, protect, recover, nasty plot. Like, you could do whatever you wanted.
In the next year and a half, it's going to be kind of similar to 2016. It's just going to be a highlight reel. It's just going to be for us the greatest moments, for as Pokemon fans, as collectors.
I'm getting goosebumps, brother. One of 2 things is going to happen. By the way, I just thought of all of this right now. I hope this is an original thought, like the whole unlocking with Arceus and stuff. If this all happens, I am prophetic. But The other thing that we could be getting, and I think this is more likely, is a new type or two.
See, now that's interesting because when you talk about new typings, you talk about existing typings, right? Like dark typing.
Yeah.
You know, dark typing.
Yeah, like they've released dark and fairy.
Yes, and then dark wasn't. How did they put it? Dark was supposed to be a representation of evil, right? And the super effective typing was supposed to be light typing, right? And so if we were to get a new typing, but if we were to get a new typing, the only one that I can think of is light typing, something that is super effective against ghost, fairy.
Hey, man.
Just think about that. What would light type be super effective against? I think it'd be super effective against dark, ghost, and fairy.
And I think fire would resist it.
Yes. I think fire would resist
it. And electric would resist it.
I also think that dragon would resist it.
You can't give dragon more power, dude.
Look, if it's super effective against fairy, right, it has to be weak to dragon.
You know what's crazy is people still say that dragon is an overpowered type. Clip this. I do not think dragon is an overpowered type. I actually think that it's perfectly normalized right now. They introduced steel and fairy to counter dragon.
Yeah.
I don't think dragon's overpowered. Everybody keeps talking about dragon being overpowered. I don't think it is.
Well, dragon, doesn't it have a resistance to steel? Or did they take that away completely?
No, it does not have a resistance to steel.
Okay, yeah. Then no, I 100% agree. Also, it's weak to ice, which is fun.
Yeah, dragon is weak to ice and fairy and dragon. Those are the three that are super effective against it.
Yeah.
And then it's double resisted by fairy. Or if you're playing the video games, it doesn't do anything to fairies.
Yep.
It's resisted by steel.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess good. It's still good, but like, do we need to introduce a new type? I mean, I don't know, maybe. Another type that people keep talking about, the dinosaur type. Everybody wants them to make a dinosaur type. And I was like, that's not going to happen.
Stupid. Why dinosaur typing would be dumb? Who the hell wants a dinosaur typing?
Some people think that's coming to Legends ZA. They think they're going to give Mega Meganium a dinosaur typing.
That is
and for alligator, a dinosaur typing.
That is
Mega for alligator.
No, that is dumb. If that actually happened, I get, dude, call me the fool. Like, if that happens, I will be shocked. But I think if they do introduce another typing, it's going to be something like light typing. It's going to be something that is super effective against ghost, dark, and fairy.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, and it might even be super effective against poison.
To be clear, I like my idea the most, though, of allowing more access to more moves and having Arceus be and unlocking the potential. I think this is a sick idea. Pokemon,
I think that's
if you haven't thought of this, please take this. And if this has already been thought of, please act on it. Straight up.
But what would you call that mechanic, though?
I mean, unbroken. You could call it you could call it unlimited. You could origin. Right, they've already done the origin forms a little bit.
Yep.
So they got like Spatial Rend and Roar of Time. I mean,
I think you have the perfect name though that you haven't thought of yet.
What?
Unleashed.
Oh yeah, you could do Unleashed too. You could do an Unleashed move. And like you light typing. Hold on. Hear me out here. I don't know if they would do this because it's a little bit like not politically correct in some areas.
Yeah.
Holy typing.
No, dog. Oh, bro, holy crap, dude. You are on another level. You're on another plane of Pokemon understanding right now. The fact that you just said holy typing.
I'm Rain Manning over here. I'm not going to lie to you. I am very proud of that.
That is incredible. I love that connection, though. I take 50% credit for that.
All I'm saying is Arceus is the god of Pokemon. Holy is light. It could offset dark types. You could go into your holy form via Arceus and get omnipotent knowledge and have more moves. I mean, this is all just coming to me, baby, and I feel amazing.
Oh, dude, that's an incredible idea. And you know what, buddy? I think we're going to end the episode on a high note. We can't top that, guys. This is the guy. Genelac is him.
I'm very proud.
You should be, dude. Round of applause to you, sir. I bow to you, baby. That was incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys, round of applause for the man down in the comments below. And once again, thank you guys so very much for joining us. We do appreciate having you here. And hopefully you guys feel enlightened by the realization that is Genelac and his holy form. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, My name is Pokey Scout.
I am Jetalight Gaming.
And this is Critical Hitz! Have a great night, brother.
Thank you, brother.